Welcome to Raptors Recon, and today's topic is Donald Glover, Star Wars Social Justice Champion. Now, I'll preface this by saying that I like Donald Glover as an entertainer. I think he's funny, he's talented. I don't have anything against him, but I'll, I'll let the article speak for itself. The article is titled Donald Glover's Lando Calrissian holds a summit for all the black people in Star Wars. This is by Julie Muncie on Gizmodo.com. And basically, it's referencing the Saturday Night Live skit that they had just the other day. The article reads It's a pretty small summit. While the Disney-era Star Wars universe has made a lot of strides in terms of diversity, the franchise suffered from nearly monochromatic casting for most of its lifetime. Turning that critique into a biting gag on this weekend's Saturday Night Live, Donald Glover brings out his Lando Calrissian persona to host a summit for all the black people in the Star Wars universe, which has an attendance much lower than the smuggler, gambling, barren pilot, really cool guy Lando had hoped. So already, I don't like I kind of don't like the tone that they use here, talking about the nearly monochromatic casting that this franchise suffered with, as if there was a problem. Um, anyway, let me continue. In it, Kenan Thompson also does a pretty solid impression of Forrest Whitaker's Saw Gerrera from Rogue One, and Samuel L. Jackson's Mace Windu gets a loving shout-out, even if death by defenestration is hardly proper treatment for the only black primary character of the prequels. This particular summit is set before the original trilogy, which would explain Finn's absence. Saturday Night Live has a surprisingly solid grasp of the Star Wars timeline. This sketch is worth watching, both for the sharp digs at the franchise's shortcomings and for a chance to see Glover play Lando before the release of Solo on May 25th, 2018. Watch it below. Okay, so I put the link for the Saturday Night Live skit down below, so if you're curious, take a look. It doesn't take that long, and it is what it is. It's satirical, which is okay. Satire, good satire is based, on some truth, though. And I guess, I guess my problem with this is the message that they're sending, and it's coming out on all fronts. And when you take this, if I saw this sketch by itself, if this was just by itself, it'd be a little funny, in kind of a disturbed way, but I can appreciate its, comedic value. I can appreciate the satire, okay, by itself. But when you take this skit and you take the comments by J.J. Abrams, and you take the comments by Ryan Johnson, and you take the comments by Kathleen Kennedy, if you don't like The Last Jedi, you're sexist, you're homophobic, you're xenophobic, you're racist. I mean, when you take it in the totality of the full court press that Lucasfilm is doing right now, it it's disturbing because look at the article. The article that came out um, from one of the actresses who is going to be taking part in Solo, and she talked about. I talked about this in another video, and she talks about breaking a glass ceiling. Okay. Now, as if there was some sort of problem. Now, in that video, I show lots of examples of multicultural people who were taking part in Star Wars as actors, and I'm sure there were plenty of people behind the scenes of multiple races. Look, I don't hear people shouting from the rooftops that, hey, where's my Hispanic Jedi Master? Where's my, Asian Jedi Master or this, that, or the other, or whatever. I mean, it's gotta stop, man. I mean, this identity politics and stuff like that, it needs to stop. Look, wanting representation is okay, and I don't have a problem with that. And it's good. I can appreciate that. I can respect that. But that should not be the focus of almost every single article that comes out. They're not talking about, wow, the story of Solo is going to be so amazing. It's going to be so complex. That's very deep. No. It's look how diverse the cast is. Look at this. Look at that. We've got this one may be a woman. Maybe that woman is Han Solo's mother, and that's his enemy. And I mean, there's all kinds of crazy things going around the internet that it is just ridiculous. And what does it all focus on? Identity politics. It's like, hey, there's a girl here. It's a woman. Oh, and then this one, oh yeah, it's this is a person of color. Okay, come on, come on already. Get off of that subject. I mean, you don't have to focus on that to actually do what you're trying to do. You want more representation? Write the characters and have them represent. It's really easy. Look at Black Panther. They did it well. And yes, awesome movie all across the board. Groundbreaking in many ways. But it was a good story that really drove that home. I mean, if the story sucked for Black Panther, it wouldn't have done as well as it did. That is the problem with Star Wars. They are focusing and they are marketing towards the fringe social justice warriors and not focusing on what Star Wars is all about. And in the process, they are bad-mouthing what Lucas created and George Lucas himself, because they keep saying, oh, there's this big huge problem here. There's, oh my gosh, the casting was monochromatic previously. It was such a problem. It was so racist. It was so, oh my gosh, it was horrible. Look at some of the aliens. Oh my gosh. Look at Jar Jar and how he spoke. Look at the Trade Federation. Look at this, that, or the other. Oh my gosh. Everybody has a reason to complain about something when it comes to that. And that kind of stuff's got to stop. It's ridiculous. I mean, it is almost as if, this is what bothers me too, it is almost as if there is a full court press to take the new generation of fans and turn them against the original trilogy. And I'm not saying not to watch it, but it's like a full court press to put like a bad light on it, to put like a stink on the original trilogy, so that way people will look at it, the new fans will look at it and be like, okay, yeah, that's cool and stuff, and but they'll have that in the back of their mind, man. Yeah, look at that. Maybe there's not enough black characters here, or maybe there's not enough Asian characters or Hispanic characters or female characters, or and they look at it through those lenses and then they kind of cast it away. I mean, look at the message that is being pushed in The Last Jedi. Kill the past, right? Kill it. That's the only way you're going to be able to move forward. You just got to kill that. And I think they're trying to kill George Lucas's legacy, so that way they can divest themselves from it. I mean, that's what I see in the big picture. You may see these things and you're like, oh, it's just a little thing here and there. They just want, representation. They're just trying to, maybe they're trying to, get some marketing traction. Yeah, sure. That's fine. But if you look at all of the comments, okay, it seems as if, in direct contrast to the way Marvel is handling their universe and franchise, they really want to divest themselves from everything George Lucas. The irony is that George Lucas is the best thing that ever happened to Star Wars because he created it and he understands it. Star Wars movies were his babies. They were his children. He loved them. He nurtured them. This is all from an interview with him. And how would you, what possible reason does Kathleen Kennedy have for wanting to trash George Lucas? I mean, that's what is happening. When you leak all this, oh, there's not enough women. Women were this, or the other. They were pouring in there, and this, that, and the other. And we're finally getting women in here. People are feeling threatened, whatever. What is it that you're saying? You are saying that the previous administration, aka under George Lucas, was sexist. If you're calling out the fact that, hey, there's not enough black actors or whatever, even though that's not true, what are you saying? If you say there's not enough actors of color in general, what are you saying? You're saying the previous administration was racist, okay? Sexist, racist. I mean, that is not what Star Wars is about. We don't go to see Star Wars to see all that day-to-day drama that we deal with, okay? It's an escape. It was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, folks. Far, far away from our garbage, okay? And the garbage that we got to deal with. And that is part of its allure. If I want to go see a drama like that, I'll go pay for a drama that specifically deals with that subject. But when I go to see Star Wars, I don't go to see that. I go to see light versus dark, good versus evil, okay? Themes of friendship, of courage, of heroism, sacrifice, redemption, okay? That's what I go to see. I don't go into a Star Wars movie and start counting all the black people or the Hispanic people or the Asian people or how many women are in there. No, I go in there to watch a story, to see an epic tale, to see the mythos of Star Wars, the mythos that George Lucas created. And I'm sorry, but I think it's complete BS that people are tarnishing his name, tarnishing the brand of Star Wars, all in the name of social justice. And the thing is that it's not true. It's almost like people are spouting stuff, like I said, just to tarnish the original trilogy. And that's just unconscionable. It's disgusting. Frankly, I mean, it disgusts me. I go and I open up an article and everything is about what race somebody is and who's acting in what, and second director, his second director who's a black woman, and this and that. Nobody ever talks about a second director in general. They are playing the race games. And the disgusting part of that is it's tokenism, and doing that. I mean, you look at this, Ryan Johnson says, "Oh, we need to get less white people as directors and whatnot, or there's too many of them." Well, you know what? Step down. Now, you don't see him doing that. This is the irony. They like to talk a good game, but what are they really doing? They're not doing anything, okay? But they're going to frickin' milk it, though. They're going to milk every last bit, every drop. Oh, look at this. We've got this person of color in this position. What do you think about that? They milk it. They milk it dry. When the focus should be on producing good stories, on producing stories that the fans will like. Okay, Robert Downey Jr. was interviewed about how Marvel, why the success of Marvel, and he said that from the get-go, that their team is working to maintain the integrity of the characters from the comics and to work in synergy with the fans. Okay, you take that and you look at their cast. Okay, it's diverse, but it also matches pretty close to the comics. It's pretty faithful. It's faithful to the intent. It's faithful to the spirit of those comics. And you see that they don't shun the fans. They're not trolling the fans. They're not calling these fans idiots and your Snoke theory is stupid or whatever, or going out and like lambasting fans for not liking something or pointing out problems in a movie. They don't do that. They respect their fans. They treat their fans well. They include their fans' opinion, and it is important to them. And look at what is happening. I mean, the quality of Marvel's movies is going up and up, and it paved the way to have a very groundbreaking movie with the Black Panther. All of that paved the way for that, and paved the way for its success. And what a great story, and what an amazing achievement. It also paved the way for Infinity Wars. Okay? That movie was awesome. Okay, you can nitpick little things here and there, but that movie was awesome. From the beginning to the end, it was awesome. One of the best villains I've seen. It was great. And to juggle all those characters who have movies in their own right, I mean, and juggle them all together, give them enough screen time and effect and impact on the story. My gosh. Why the hell, excuse me, why the heck can't Star Wars and Lucasfilm pull their heads out of their rear and do this? It's because they're touting all this. They're focusing on this. They're promoting all this diversity stuff. Look, do it. But focus on the stories. I want to see that. I want to see an inclusive thing. But you know what? I will note. I do want to see a full spectrum of humans, represented there. That's great. Where are the aliens? Give us some more aliens, okay? I mean, where are the droids? You see one or two. There should be freaking dozens of them things. And all you see is BB-8, barely R2-D2 and C-3PO. What's going on? It's because they're focusing on the wrong thing. I don't know. It just ticks me off when I see something like this. And like I said, as far as Donald Glover goes, I still enjoy him. He's a solid entertainer, and I have nothing against him whatsoever. But doing this kind of stuff, you take it, take what he's doing on Saturday Night Live. You take the comments from the various articles of other actors and actresses. You see the people who are posting on this, blasting, Lucasfilm for, being basically racist. You can say that in so many ways, okay? Well, I didn't call him that. Yeah, but that's what you said, okay? That's what you're saying. George Lucas, who's married to a beautiful black woman, is racist, and his organization has been racist, and his casting has been racist, and I mean, give me a freaking break. And the only reason that I can think, because I've been thinking about it, and like I said, the only reason I can think is that Kathleen Kennedy is really trying to put, maybe it's subconsciously, but she's really trying to put a stink on that original trilogy. She does not want anybody to even think about that. She wants the focus to be completely on what they're doing right now, which unfortunately is not very good, okay, with some exceptions, okay? And I don't get it. I mean, George Lucas trusted this woman with his franchise, with his babies, with his children, okay, that he put love and effort into. And she sat in that interview with him when he was talking about it, and he was singing her praises, and she was looking at him with her sly little eyes, and she was talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna respect that, and yeah, I'm gonna make those Star Wars films. Yeah. Did you use anything that George Lucas gave you? Pretty much no. For the most part, no. I mean, would it have killed you to just do a nice transition from the original trilogy to the new trilogy? I mean, each director, I mean, it's so sad, but when they present these things, and then the way they present it to the fans, like, whoa, yeah, the gang's gonna be back together, for the Force Awakens. Oh, and this is gonna be Han Solo's moment. This is gonna be he gets killed, right? We go to the next one. Oh, this is Luke. We'll be looking at, we've been trying to find Luke. It's a big deal. Oh, right, we find Luke. He gets killed or he dies. Well, that's debatable. And guys, dang it, I really hope what Mark Hamill said about the fact that his metal hand didn't drop down, that he's still alive somewhere. I could only hope. That'd be a wish upon a star, hope that he comes back somehow. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, his big moment in the second movie, he's dead. And then the third movie was supposed to be Princess Leia's, you know, big moment. It was supposed to be Carrie Fisher's big moment. Now, unfortunately, she died. May she rest in peace. But in the back of my mind, I can't help but think, my gosh, she's going to die too. So, anyway, I've kind of gone on a little bit of a side tangent, but my point is this. The social justice nonsense, the marketing to the tokenism, I mean, to exploit a person's ethnicity or sex for financial gain, which is what's going on, is just not right. And if that's where the focus is, and the focus is not on the story, okay, if this is in lieu of the story, if more brain cells are being used to try and work on all of this and supposedly right some wrong that really was non-existent in the first place, then the proof is in the pudding as far as why things, why these movies are so, or at least The Last Jedi. I mean, my gosh, it's so controversial. And it's not controversial because there's people of color in the movie or a woman lead, let me tell you. It is not that. It's because the movie sucked. And it disrespected the original trilogy, which it seems like is the purpose behind all of this. So anyway, I'd love to hear your comments about this. Sorry about the mini rant on this. This subject pisses me off to no end. So I apologize about that. But really, my intent is this. Look, it's okay to laugh. It's okay to have, some satirical, skits on Saturday Night Live. It's, that's fine. It's fine. I have nothing against Donald Glover, like I said. I just think that the overarching theme of social justice politics is getting in the way of our good Star Wars movies. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like what you heard, give me a like and subscribe. Anyway, take care and thanks for joining me.